Hello there, blokes. You might be able to tell, but this sweatshirt is one of my favorite articles of clothing, and that is the reason I am wearing it 2 videos in a row. In a row. It's soft and cuddly. It doesn't have a hood, which is the best kind of sweatshirt, honestly. But I am going to, unfortunately not be able to give you really any book reviews this week, although a semi-partial one, because I sort of have been really busy doing a lot of other things. Yeah, this week was absolutely insane, and I am finally getting to a place where I can actually probably hopefully start reading again. Took basically a week's hiatus from reading. I mean, I read a little bit, because, you know, like survival, but still, not as much as I want, and not as enough to like get a book read, which is just sad. Okay, I'm reading 2 books right now. Voyage of the Dawn Treader, which I showed last video. I realized something about it. It's a very good story, that's for sure. But it's written in third person objective, well, omniscient objective, and it's just my least favorite point of view to have objectivity. I just don't like it, and that's one of the main reasons I disliked The Sun Also Rises, but this at least has like redeeming storyline. It's a very, very good story, it really is, but it's kind of hard for me to push past the objective part of it, because I just don't really like that. So it's slow going. Even though it's a children's book, it's fine. The next book I'm reading, for all you Amelia Peabody fans out there, is He Shall Thunder in the Sky by Elizabeth Peters. I'm only like 30 pages in, but so good. I love these books so much. For those of you who don't know, it's about an Egyptologist family at the turn of the century. This is like, I don't even know, the 12th book in the series. The last book I read for the series was The Falcon at the Portal, and it was just absolutely heartbreaking, and it was just hard to move on, but I did. Things are improving, slowly but steadily in this book, but it's rough. It's real rough, but it's so good. It's so good. The next book I want to read is really not a book at all, but a play, and it is The Importance of Being Earnest. Earnestly, I mean it. I'm just not that good at puns, it's fine. But I can do other cool things, like biochemistry. Je peux le dire en français. Ouais. Well, anyway, I want to read The Importance of Being Earnest. I have seen the movie, but it's been a couple years, and just to give you an idea, if you don't know what this is, it is quite hilarious. Simply to read the back. Subtitled, A Trivial Comedy for Serious People, this hilarious attack on Victorian manners and morals turns a pompous world on its head, lets duplicity lead to happiness, and makes riposte the highest form of art. I mean, does that not sound amazing? That sounds amazing. It's just a farce on the Victorian era, and I love the idea of that because, frankly, it's kind of silly sometimes, you know, from our modern point of view, and even from some people then, so... The next book I am hoping to read is this hunk of a book. It is by Scott Westerfeld. It is Afterworlds. It is one of his newer books, so it's slipping there because it's kind of heavy. The subtitle is Darcy Writes the Words, Lizzie Lives Them. He's a #1 New York Times best-selling author of Uglies, whatever. So the idea here is that there's alternating chapters, and one's in Darcy's novel and one's Darcy's life herself, and they come to parallel each other, I think. Obviously got something to do with Pride and Prejudice, hence the Darcy and Lizzie, which I love Pride and Prejudice. Major's gonna hate. I'm really excited about this book, but it's definitely a hunk. It's a little heavy. I'm not lying at all, I promise you. Does that make it more believable? Studies show that when you say honestly, or I promise you, or something like that, it's actually not more believable, it's actually less believable. But I promise you, this book is heavy. The next book I really want to read is middle grade fiction. I don't love all middle grade fiction, but like I love Rick Riordan. I've recently learned that I really like him. I read The Sword of Summer like a couple months ago, and I kind of fell in love with his writing and the book art. Covers do sell books. Don't lie to yourself and say you don't judge a book by its cover. You do. I knew he had the Percy Jackson series, and he's got like another new series coming out, but what I didn't realize is that he had an Egyptology series! Which is like my favorite thing ever. Egyptology. I love it, I love it, I love it. At some point in my life, I plan on being an archaeologist. I don't know when that point is, but I plan on it. I love Egyptology. It is my favorite of all the archaeologies, it is my favorite. I don't know why exactly. I mean, it's obviously got famous for a reason, but like, I don't just love it for the pyramids and stuff. Like, I love the mythology behind it. I love it. Can I tell it to you again? I love it. So, I found out that he has this Egyptology series, and so I bought the first one, and it's called The Red Pyramid, and I'm really excited. I don't even really know what it's about, because who cares, because it's about Egyptology and it's by Rick Riordan. Okay, once again, to read the back because I don't know what this is about. Ever since their mother's death, siblings Carter and Sadie have been near strangers. While Sadie lived with their grandmother's parents in London, Carter has traveled the world with their father and the brilliant Egyptologist Dr. Julius Kane. Then one night they are reunited when their father takes them to the British Museum, hoping at last to set things right. Instead, he unleashes the Egyptian god Set, who banishes him to oblivion and forces the children to flee for their lives. Soon, Carter and Sadie discover that the gods of ancient Egypt are waking, and the worst of them, Set, is after the Kanes. To stop him, the siblings must embark on a dangerous journey across the globe, a quest that brings them ever closer to the truth about their family and its link to a secret order that has existed since the time of the pharaohs. Sounds amazing. Because, I mean, who doesn't want to be banished into oblivion and then forced to flee for your life? So, I think that sounds great. But his writing is just so fun, and during the middle of the semester, it's exactly what I need. You know, it's what I need. It's what I need. Okay, so my next books, I'm not entirely sure which one of these I'm going to get to reading. Both of them are fairly well known though, so maybe if you've read one of them and you like them, leave in the comments which one you think I should read, and I will maybe decide based off of the comments. Maybe. The first one is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. Second in the Mortal Instruments series. I read The City of Bones, and I really liked the world. The idea of like part angels being policemen over the underworld just is really intriguing to me. But her writing leaves much to be desired. Not very smooth, it's not very comfortable to read for me, which is why I had been holding off buying the rest of the series. But then I was in the bookstore the other day, and I saw that the covers were redone. And I was like, okay, that looks cool. And then it was like, bam, that spine. And I'm like, that spine, that is art. That is beautiful, and I want that on my shelf. I finally decided to give it a chance. I shall give it a read at some point. It's just whether or not I do it right within the next month or so. I don't really know if that's going to happen. The other book that I'm considering reading, which I'm pretty sure I mentioned in a video a long time ago, but it's Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I bought it at Halloween time because I was like, Halloween, ghosts, scary stories. It seemed like a good idea at the time, and then I just like never actually read it because I do that with books. I buy them and then just don't. Ooh, this is new. Or new to me. John Green, who's like one of my favorite authors of all times, who is like one of my inspirations as a writer, said a quote that ended up on the back of this book. It is a tense, moving, and wondrously strange first novel. The photos and text work together brilliantly to create an unforgettable story. That, I think, is one of the things that did attract me about it, because I'm not just like a big scary book person in general. It's basically these kids that end up on a mysterious island and an abandoned orphanage, and then they discover this selection of peculiar photographs, as the back says, but then they discover a bunch of like creepy things about how they like, you know, actually might not be gone or something like that, I think. The writing is quite good, I think, for young adult especially. It's not at all October anymore, and I'm just not sure if I'm in the mood, but it's so good that do I need to be in the mood? I don't know. Will it put me in the mood? I don't know. So I will try to, you know, like do a review on some of them sometime soon, or one of them, I don't know. Or just do a random vlog. If you want me to just do a random vlog, leave it in the comments. I will try to do something random. Give me a suggestion if you want. I mean, I can pull stuff out of the hat. I like doing that. It's fun. That's all for now. Cheers!